Alright, so video before last one, video before the one in the junkyard. Some of what I was doing was I had cut out the rust that was in here behind the bumper. I actually cleaned out the rust behind there, used rust converter on all that. So now I'm welding in another piece of 18 gauge steel. I'm doing it on this side as well. So I'll weld that in, grind it down smooth. Then I'll work on stripping the paint off of this tail light panel, get it cleaned up. I got to work on stripping all this paint and stuff from around the trunk area. I set this on there and the tail lights on there, kind of look at what was going on, see how the 81 tail lights are like they're all the way across the back, wrap around the corner, and they kind of angle out. Thinking maybe make some patterns to make a corner on each of these sides, that then I can take the shape of the car and work it into a metal cab corner type thing almost, and then just make this like one whole roll pan back across the back and totally eliminate the rear bumper, because I'm not a huge fan of the big plastic bumper cover or the big plastic nose on these, but I'd like to get the fiberglass nose. It cost me probably somewhere around $1,000 to do that, just pretty pricey. It'd be worth it, but I just don't know that I have the money right now. But if I put a roll pan back there to give it a custom look, I'm also considering what shape I can do. Maybe make a spoiler out of steel that I can actually weld on the body so it becomes one actual piece of the body. Thinking about maybe working in some flares, maybe 4 inches, figure out how to shape that so it looks right. I got to take all these little studs for the window trim. I'm going to cut those off. Then I'm going to buy the special tip that Eastwood sells for the stud welder gun, and then I'm going to buy a package of these trim clip studs so that I can weld new ones back on. So everywhere I have one of these, I'll probably take the cut off wheel and I'll just zip a little mark on the edge of the windowsill where everyone is. That way I know where to put them back, and then I can get in there and I can really clean up all the paint and glue from the window and get that all really cleaned up as good as possible in there, and weld new studs on, and then we'll be ready for paint there. This is all cleaned up pretty good. I got a little bit of a rust hole down here that I got to work on. I'm trying to get all this old body seam sealer out of the car because it's old and cracked, and so I'll have to replace all that body seam sealer everywhere on the car. So I'm still working on just cleaning up the edges, the door edges, up in, back everywhere, but everywhere it's got seam sealer on the car. I got to get rid of that because it's so old and it's just chipping and cracking and falling off. Got to work on cleaning up the firewall some more because I really want to smooth that out. I might just smooth it from right in here at the trans tunnel, just smooth that whole side out and leave the windshield wiper stuff alone. But I don't know, I'm gonna have to go ahead, and I think I'm gonna end up making a plate here, because I'm gonna end up trying to use this steering column section that I got out of the Isuzu pickup, basically a Chevy Colorado, yesterday. See if I can't get a deal so I can get that in there on the firewall, maybe mount it in and get it all sealed up. But I'd like to try and use that if I can. We'll see. I got to get all this stuff stripped down like the other side. Got to clean up the whole windshield, all this, everything in here. Still need to take this door off, get it stripped down, and then I got to work on this entire door jamb. Still got to kind of try and reshape this lead here, and pretty much just body work. But hopefully I can get this thing in primer soon, at least. at least the shell in primer, and pretty much that's it. Was what I got going on. It's more scrubbing and cleaning. Pretty boring. Alright, so I'm going to actually flatten out these holes in the firewall, and I'm going to start making a template for a panel so I can smooth it. I haven't decided whether I'm going to smooth the whole panel or just like maybe just a passenger side panel, or maybe do two panels, do one for the driver's side, one for the passenger side. I don't know, because I still got to figure out what holes I don't want in the firewall, what holes I do want in the firewall. So I'll figure that all out. I'll just kind of time lapse me flattening out the flanges on some of the holes in the firewall, straightening that out. Chances are something's going to oil can when I do that, because all those corners that are stretched, now I've got to shrink it back out. So when I flatten it out, it's going to cause stuff to oil can. So may have to take the shrinking disc to it, heat it up, shrink it back down, get the oil can out of it. Of course, it's not going to matter a whole lot as long as my panel over the top is really, really nice. And so I just want to smooth it out, make it look really good. So that's what I'm going to do. Well, it's early. I went ahead and scraped all the junk off of the rest of this firewall. I got the windshield wiper motor off of there. I got a couple of things to take off of the firewall. I'll grind that off of the firewall. Take this clip off, take that clip off. Probably hit it with the wire wheel, but it's early. I'm tired. I'm gonna go home and get some sleep. And that pretty much concludes this little video. And thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share.